Sorry.
Oh!
You hear that, chat? You hear that?
We'll always be together.
3, 2. I can't. Oh, this tastes so good. On top of that, though, peep the new hat. Speaking of cocks.
Are you ready, Mia? Oh my god. It's on Mia!
I want to see them toes, please.
Oh, Mia! What the fuck is wrong with you? She just punched me!
You're so tall.
No, get down on your knees.
What?
You see her right here.
Okay. All right. Let's do this.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 1 of the iLadies podcast. My name is Krissy, and I'm here with Miss Jewel and NikkiJustine, my best friends. And yeah, I'm so excited to be doing this podcast with you guys. I love you so much.
Love you too.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like this is something that has always been something that we wanted to do, like a podcast or like a show. Because, you know, whenever we collab together, it's always so much fun. The girls' content is like my favorite type of content to make. So yeah, I know a long time ago, Nikki said something about like we should do a podcast together one day. And then I don't think anything really happened for a while. And then one night I was drinking some wine, hanging out at home. And I was like, I want to
This is
make
how
a
ideas happen.
podcast with my best friends. Like, I feel like that would be so much fun. And yeah, I felt like, you know, we have valuable insight in the streaming world and gaming and all this stuff. And I feel like it's just something that would be really fun to work towards a goal together with you guys. So that's what we decided to do. We decided to name it iLadies. Honestly, this is a little bit embarrassing to explain to people, especially if you're not familiar with gaming culture or anything like that. But basically, it's a D's nuts joke at the end of the day. So yeah, we're gonna insert iLadies meme
Insert
here.
D's.
And all of the D's nuts memes. Insert
Yeah.
them all at once.
Also, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say that I think was it from you pick e-girls or iLadies and that's how you bait
Yes.
them into
Mhm.
getting them with
Yes.
hitting them with the D's.
Very funny story. Before me and Jason met, we were like calling on Discord one time, and I was telling him about like the iLadies meme, and he was like, "What's iLadies?" And I was like, "No, like we've been talking for like 2 weeks at this point." I was like, "Please, you have to know what iLadies is." He was like, "No, what are you talking about?" And I hit him with the D's nuts.
You
joke,
hit him with it.
and
Let's
yeah,
go.
so it's really
And
stuck
that's
with
when
me
you
ever
knew.
since then.
And that's when they knew, yeah.
Yeah, that's when they knew.
And then they
Yeah.
started dating.
Yeah,
Right
I mean,
after.
Yeah, all because of the D's nuts
all
joke.
because of iLadies. So
Just because of that. Yeah, I personally feel the same because when we would all collab together, when obviously we play multiple games, but usually when we collab on stream, it's usually we play Rocket League and we're all just chatting together and just, I don't know, messing around and just have so much fun. And I feel like people really enjoy that content. And if people are really there for, you know, not the gameplay and just, you know, just for us and just for our personality, there's so many people who really enjoy all three of us just meshing together. And I feel like when you're streaming, and because not that we're obviously stuck with like one game or anything, but you know, sometimes every now and then you kind of feel obligated, I guess you could say, to playing that certain game you play, and that would be Rocket League. And so, like, in that way, you almost feel stuck that you have to talk about certain things, or you can't really branch out and like kind of rant because you feel like some people are there for just the gameplay, and then some people are genuinely there for your personality. And then just to talk about things outside your specific niche might be a little like nerve-wracking. So I feel like a podcast is the perfect opportunity to get us all out there, talk about things that we enjoy with no filters, not worrying about people just being like, just play the game, because you get that every single day. And it's so annoying. I'll be talking about something I'm
Oh
passionate about, and
man.
like you get at least 3
What's your
people who are like,
rank?
yeah, what's
Play
your
with
rank?
me.
Oh, can you just play the game? Just play
Can
the
you
game.
queue?
Why are you just queue? Can you queue? And I'm like, bro, like I'm talking about like taking my dog out for a walk, and you're just telling me, can you queue? Like, can I not talk about real life shit? Like, I don't like, no offense or anything, like, but it's like, you know, it's your space at the end of the day, and it's like the game doesn't, you know, I guess validate you as a creator. Like, you want to talk and you want to be on a personal level to your viewers, and I feel like a podcast is the perfect way to do it. That's not getting interrupted by people who are just there for you playing a certain game or you doing a certain thing on stream.
Yeah, this is our safe space. We
Yeah,
can talk about
exactly.
whatever, and anyone who comes to this podcast and supports it knows that, it's not Rocket League. It's whatever we want
I would
to talk
hope they would
about.
know.
Yeah.
They're gonna come to this podcast real disappointed.
They're gonna be disappointed because there's not a lot of Rocket League being talked about.
Actually,
here.
we do not talk about Rocket League at all.
Ever.
Ever again.
So
We're
you
all
can click out
retired.
right
Actually,
now.
just kidding. No.
Yeah. Yeah,
You can click out right now.
I got
I'll
my
give you the
earnings and I'm
flashback
out.
opportunity.
I was gonna say, I don't know about you guys, but I definitely feel a little hurt when people say just play the game, though, or when it feels
yeah.
like people are there just for you to play a certain game, even though I feel like my gameplay is just not even that good. So it confuses me, but I guess I should take it as a compliment.
I
But
think because people want to relate, like the normal person relates to average gameplay, I guess you could say. I mean, obviously people look up to people in the pro scene and all that, but it's not really the most realistic thing. So I think people enjoy watching people just like them who've spent a certain amount of hours grinding, and so people find that personable. But that's why I still don't understand why you can't just do anything outside of that.
yeah,
Like,
it's a phenomenon for sure.
oh yeah, for sure. But I think slowly it's easy once you get those people out of the way. Like, it's just so easy to just do you, because those people aren't gonna stick around. Those are the people you
No.
don't want hanging around.
Yeah, they just drop in, ask a question, and then they're out, which is fine. And
Mhm.
not everyone is obligated to watch you
I
for a
have a
very
funny
long
story
time.
about that.
Oh, go
There's
ahead. Story time.
Tell me more, please.
So one day, me and the mods were looking through logs of like my OGs in my chat. And because we were just curious, like, oh, how did they find the stream? Like, because those are people who have been there every single day since the day that they've came into the stream, whether that be 2 years, 1 year, whatever. And so I was like, I'm interested to see what their first message in chat was. And we're all joking around, like, you always know that a chatter, like, no offense, but like, you're always going to, like, when someone, their first message is SMH point rank in your chat, you're just like, oh, God, like, they're
One
either
of
gonna,
them.
they're either gonna shit on you. Yeah. They're either gonna shit on you, be like, oh, like, that doesn't look like this rank. Or they're gonna be like, oh, yeah, like, cool, whatever. There was like two OGs, their first message in chat, and they had no idea. They didn't remember, and I called them out. I looked at it on stream. Their first message in chat was SMH point rank. I was like, oh, you're one of those?
You're one of them.
Like, I thought you
And-
were different.
Yeah, I thought you were different. How did this happen?
Yeah.
Oh, it was just so funny finding out that your OGs were one of those chatters that you're just like, oh no, they're just there for the game. And then, at the end of the day, they weren't there for the game, and that's pretty
Yeah.
nice.
Not all chatters.
Not all chatters. We can't put all chatters in one little.
And little
Oh.
bucks, they're all their own unique people.
I
if you guys want,
guess.
we can talk about. Yeah, I guess that was.
Now we're
Now we're
giving
gonna
them a
talk
lot of
about
credit.
parasocial relations.
Yeah.
We said we weren't gonna talk about Rocket League. Now let's talk about something else.
Oh wait, I forgot. Yeah,
we
my
totally
bad.
just
My
talked about
bad.
Rocket League
Oh
for like 10
god.
That was my bad. That was my bad.
That was a good story. If you guys want, we can each tell a little bit about how we all got into streaming, just our backstory and how we all ended up meeting each other, I guess. Jewel, you want to go first?
Yeah, I guess. I feel like I just have a typical I was in college kind of situation back in 2016. It's crazy to think that I've been streaming for that long. But it was just kind of a thing that I did in college, and I remember the first person I started watching was Lyric, and specifically I really got interested because he does sub Sundays, and he would play, games that viewers would pick for him, kind of thing. And I was like, wow, you can actually interact with these people, and I don't know, get to know people, build a community, and that's kind of how I started. And yeah, I was just graphic designing and streaming, I guess.
Aw.
for I guess a couple years, and then I graduated, and here we are, still streaming.
I feel like that's
guess.
how everyone's origin
Yeah.
story is. It's like it's a thing that I did, and now it's all I do.
Yeah,
It's
really.
all
Now
I
it's my
think
life.
about.
It's crazy.
So how did your content change throughout the years? Did you start with variety, or did you start with one game?
I started with Sims 4.
What?
Whoa, okay.
Wait, you
I never
didn't
knew
know
that.
this? Yeah, I would do these.
No.
I didn't.
I would do these weird challenges, and the challenges would be a mix of like 100 baby challenge. You'd make a sim produce 100 babies with they all had to be different baby daddies too. That's a lot. It's a lot of
no.
work. I know. And then there's other ones where you like have to kill off your spouse
Dedication.
and like lock them in the basement. It's weird. It's weird.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was funny. It was fun. And I guess I'd still do that, to be honest. Like Sims content, I still watch it, but I definitely don't stream it. And yeah, just
I thought
some
you could bring it
variety. We bring it back, yeah.
You should bring it back. I feel like
You
your chat right
should.
now would have such a ball with that.
Just
would
imagine it's fun because you can name your Sims like Sims people after your chat, and they just love that for some reason.
Yeah, they love getting a character named after them and then dying a tragic death.
Yeah, they really enjoy that. Yeah, exactly. For the
You
100 baby
weirdos.
challenge, I would name chat off
No.
of the babies. It was just it's kind of weird, because
Wait, that's too funny.
yeah. But
Chat
then
wanted to be a baby.
yeah, I just did like first playthroughs a lot, and eventually got sucked into the Rocket League community. I went really hard in 2019 though, after DreamHack Pro Circuit in Dallas. It's like, okay, I really want to get good at this game, and so I just kept playing it. Here we are.
And she hasn't stopped.
No, we
Like
we
it.
still
Pro
haven't
gamer.
stopped. And
Now she has earnings.
Oh yeah.
She got Rocket League Pro earnings.
Someday we'll get that Liquipedia page,
One day. We're halfway there.
Halfway. Well, a quarter of the way, halfway.
Yeah, same thing.
Mhm.
Uh,
Krissy, do you
That's
want to talk
cool.
about your streaming?
yeah.
Tell me.
Sure. I can go next. Yeah, my story is pretty similar, but instead of being in college, I actually was fresh out of college and I had my first full-time job. I was a graphic designer at a company in Atlanta. And I kind of stopped gaming in college because, I wasn't making any money. I was an athlete, so I couldn't have a job or anything like that. So I didn't have a console. As soon as I graduated and I had a little bit of money, I was like, all right, I'm gonna build my own PC. And then immediately I started playing Rocket League because I had already played on PlayStation a little bit. So I started with Rocket League. I had never even started to venture into variety until more recently. But yeah, I started streaming right before free to play, so it was kind of perfect timing because I think free to play just blew everybody up a little bit that was playing Rocket League at the time. And then things started going really well. I was like borderline making what I was at my job, and I was like, I didn't like my job. It was very corporate, and I was like, I just want to quit. I want to be a full-time streamer. I had to tell my dad, and he was like, what do you mean you make money playing video games? Like, that's insane. I was like, no, trust me, it's viable. It's a real industry. Yeah, he was super supportive after that. After I showed him, like this is a real career that people have, and like in the position I was in, I was like, I can do this. Like I'm not making a rash decision or whatever. And yeah, and then I've been doing it ever since. Coming up on 2 years, 3 years, I think. Wait,
3 years, yeah.
2 years, 3 years?
No,
way.
3 years, Krissy.
Yeah,
been-
it's 2023. Oh
Yeah.
my god. Yeah, so 3 years in July. July 4th, I remember, was my very first stream. Because it was COVID and I couldn't go outside, so I was like, I guess I'm just gonna stream and hope anyone shows up. But yeah, when I started streaming, I was literally silver, and then
Oh my
yeah, so
God.
now I'm GC, so that's cool. Yeah,
That's
that's how it
crazy.
started for me. Yeah, it's been super fun. I got to meet the girls, and I got to meet a lot of really amazing friends through
True.
streaming. My boyfriend, like so much good stuff has happened since I started streaming.
I feel like you
So-
build those genuine connections too from streaming. I
Mhm.
guess because you get passionate about it and you get connected through gaming. And I feel like I've definitely developed the best relationships I've had through streaming. for sure.
I also feel like it's so hard to understand what a streamer goes through
Oh,
unless
so
you are a
true.
streamer. So like
Yeah,
once I
true.
met you guys and I was like, they get it, like they understand, which is like obviously the average person understands and they're sympathetic towards whatever shit a streamer has to go through. But you know, when you can talk to someone and they've been through that exact situation that you have, whether it's good or bad, yeah, it really forms a genuine connection, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
My
s-
besties.
I still haven't told my mom really. She's like confused of what I do. My dad's hip
Really?
with it. Yeah, I said hip because he's kind of hip now. I don't know. I'm
Yep.
confused. You know, my mom still struggles. She just learned how to use GIFs or GIFs. Sorry, it's GIFs on text, you know. So
Aw.
yeah, she's very confused with what streaming really is. But maybe one day,
One day.
maybe one day I'll tell her.
I know.
Yeah.
My parents also like, I mean, they understand, but like there's like certain small things that they still don't get. Like,
Yeah,
every now and then, like my mom would be like, "Oh, but like so people like how do
yeah,
people support you?" Like she doesn't really understand like
the complexity of
she
it.
still acts why. She doesn't understand the concept of
Why do they
why
watch you?
someone would. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
Like
Yeah,
she understands the concept, but she doesn't understand like which
Yeah.
sounds I guess like that I'm not trying to make it sound mean or anything, but like they just don't understand. They don't
Mhm.
see like they don't see what you're doing and how you might make a difference to someone's day
yeah.
and the quality that you could bring to other people just because you know they don't see that side of you, of course. So like that's always like questionable, like
Yeah.
you know it's like, oh, like but why are people like why are people watching? And it's like, I don't know, they look forward to at the end of a long work day or wherever, whether they're home, whether they have a family, whether they have no family, like I don't know, at the end of the day they have something they look forward to,
Hang
and
out.
they tune in and they hang out with other community members, and like that ends up being, you know, their friends that they can talk to and that they can game to. um so like I the sense of community definitely is there, and that's something that I feel like older people wouldn't genuinely understand, is that there is a community behind gaming, and that is why people stick around
Mhm.
and support streamers in a monetary way.
It's just like entertainment at the end of the day too, you know? Like why do you watch TV?
Yeah.
Entertainment, yeah.
Yeah. I watch streams every single day, like just for fun instead of I watch more Twitch than I watch TV
I
for
do
sure.
too, for sure.
Yeah,
I watch
for
Valorant
sure.
every day. But yeah.
Definitely become our sense of entertainment.
Yeah,
for
it's like
sure. Like I'll go on YouTube instead of TV sometimes, like
yeah.
you know.
That's something that the previous generation that just doesn't understand because they never had that growing up. So, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, Nikki, you want to talk a little bit about your streaming journey and origin?
Well, my experience is very much like yours. I was in college. I was a junior in college, and COVID happened, and I was actually on spring break. I went away to Canada, and then the borders were gonna close, and then I was like, oh, gotta go home. So as soon as I got home, that's when quarantine started, and it was absolutely miserable. Everyone knows it was miserable, couldn't go outside, whatever. Um, and so it was like a random day. My friends were in Discord and they were playing a game, and I was like, you know what? I want to play. Oh my god, what is it called? It was a story game. It was like something like Detroit Become Human. I can't think of it right now, but it was like a story game because I love story games. I would just binge play them,
Were they
and
like the decision-based games, right? Is that what you're
yeah,
talking about? Okay.
it was a decision based game, but I just don't remember
Yeah, yeah.
exactly
There's a
what
ton of
game it was.
them.
There's
It wasn't Life is
exactly.
Strange.
It wasn't Life is
Yeah.
Strange because I did play through Life is Strange on like console, but I had just gotten a PC. Probably like 5 months prior
I know
to
they have
that.
like the Walking Dead series too, I guess.
That's
Is that
I was told to play that now. I
Oh,
actually
yeah,
haven't played
okay.
that. I'm being told to play that now. But I think 6 months prior, I finally bought a PC. I used to work. I used to freelance and do makeup, and so I saved all my money for that for like years, and I finally was able to get like an entry level PC. So once I got that, I was like PC games, like because all my friends like they hung out in Discord, like, and I was always left out of that because like I didn't have like I couldn't game. I what I had like a MacBook laptop, and you can't game on there. So like I was like, you know what? Let me stream my gameplay to them in Discord, but like I'm gonna mute because I just, everyone's playing different games in Discord. And then that's when I was like, you know what? I don't actually have to be in this call. Let me stream on Twitch and just send them the link so that they could watch and that they can hear me if they want to turn the volume up and whatever. And I was like, I'm just gonna stream on Twitch to show my friends my gameplay. Like it never occurred to me that a stream could actually grow. I literally just did it because I've had friends who did Twitch for the purpose of just streaming to their friends and that's it. And that's all that came from it. So that was my expectation going into it. And so I did that, and all my like 12 friends in Discord like all lurked in the stream. So when I would play, I was like, let me get good at Rocket League. I don't know. I like Rocket League. I like messing around. Like between college classes, I would just play 30 minutes of Rocket League, get off, and whatever. That was it. Like on my Xbox and my shitty ass TV. So like I turned on Rocket League for my friends to watch, but because there was 12 people, my friends watching the stream, other people would come in and be like, oh, this girl has 12 viewers, and then people just started coming in, and I was like, what the hell? Like what is this? Like I didn't understand Twitch. I didn't watch Twitch prior. I watched like maybe one streamer, and like that was it, but I never chatted in the chat or anything. I just didn't understand it. And then I was like, oh, like this is getting traction. I was like getting 20 viewers a stream, and then I was like, this is weird. And then people were donating, and then I got affiliate, then people were subscribing. And just off the bat, I was already like, and I didn't have a job. I was a college student, so like I didn't have a job. So I was making some sort of money. So I wasn't putting anything on the line by deciding to just stream every day. Because I was locked out of a job because of COVID, and I graduated with no internship. So I was once I graduated, I was basically screwed. So I started streaming on Twitch, and then I got partner. I believe I started in June, and then I got partner November 4th. And the day that I got partner, Rocket League ended up rating my stream, but like at the time they had like I think 20,000 viewers. And from there it just took off. It just the stream stream was already doing well or because I hit partner, but then after Rocket League raid, I feel like legitimately everything changed. Like I was able to support myself, and by the time I graduated college, I told myself I was gonna go full time, because I was able to at that point. And I once again there was nothing at risk there. Like I didn't have any job experience leading up to when I graduated college, and when I graduated college, I just felt so lost. There was nothing that I wanted to do, and like no opportunities. So I was like, I was gonna go full time. And once I graduated, I went full time, and I'm still full time.
And here we are, still.
Here we are. But yeah, it took off very quick. Same thing with Krissy. Like people during COVID just took off. Like COVID did such like. For people who were already established streaming, like their numbers went up. Twitch viewership in general actually went up overall on the platform. But for people who just started streaming, like they just saw a huge bump and were able to grow from that success. And it's been awesome. And that's also how I met Krissy. I came across her stream because she was also like me. People were like, oh yeah, this other girl started during COVID and she plays Rocket League too. And I remember you actually reached out to me one day and I was like, oh, this is so awesome. Like it's something to relate to. And then Jewel, my moderator Earboy was streaming Rocket League, and I was playing with him.
Story for real.
This is such a crazy story.
Yeah, no,
I love telling this story.
I've never heard this.
Yeah.
Wait, have you never? Oh my god, it's such a good story.
It's a kind of cute story.
Playing, it's so cute.
It's
Earboy was playing Rocket League, and he was streaming. I forgot, like he just gathered up some like people from my community as well. So like I feel like there's some people in chat, and we were just like hanging out, and I don't remember who else we were playing with, but we were playing threes, and we'd randomly queue into Jewel. What? And I didn't know who Jewel was at the time, but she had a TV at the end of her name, so I'm like, your boy's like, let me look her up and give her a follow.
No, you are telling this story wrong. First of all,
No?
Okay, so
Am
your boy had TV in his game.
Oh, it was the other way
And
around?
so I went into his stream because I wanted to see
Yes!
the
Oh, I'm
reaction.
stupid. I'm stupid.
Sometimes I'll go into people's streams and see the reaction. Sometimes they like just
Shit talk?
toxicity or whatever, and I just like
Okay.
instantly leave. But then
Oh,
your boy was
imagine
like,
you-
I think he was like super wholesome and super nice the entire time, and that was, I don't know, that was like the rare occurrence. I like started chatting in there, and then I don't know, it kind of
Yeah.
just like. I forgot, like, yeah, people from your community was there, and then they talked about how it's like, oh, Nikki also streams and stuff like that, and then that's kind of how it started.
That's crazy
Yo,
that you guys
I
Yeah.
know
looked
each
up
other.
I looked
From
up the
your
Jewel
boy.
so much when I found her stream.
Yeah.
I followed her right away once she came into Earboy's chat. I followed her and I saw how cool her setup was, and I was like, "Oh, this is so cool!" Like, and like because I was still growing at the time, and Jewel like had an established like community, and like I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I literally looked up to Jewel like when I first met her. I'm like, "Oh my god, this person wants to be friends with me." I was like, I don't know why.
She looks up to me,
That
by
was
the way,
just-
because she's short also. But...
Okay, all right. Well, we didn't have to include that one.
She
You,
literally
you
looks
probably
up
could
to
tell.
her.
Probably could tell from the intro how the height difference. It's
Yeah,
it's
true.
big. It's big. But yeah, I don't know. From there, I was like, oh, this person's cool. Like they want to hang out with us. Like it's I don't know, because it was like very rare. Like just talking to other streamers. I wasn't talking to a
Mhm.
lot of other streamers at the time. It was literally Jewel and Krissy were like the first people I actually actively tried to talk to and interact with and be in their chats, just because they were just overall very nice people. And
Aw.
here we are. We have a podcast together. Mhm.
I remember how I met both of you. Well, I know I met Jewel basically through Nikki, because when I found Nikki, you guys had already like met, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I literally remember I was streaming one day. I was looking for someone to raid, and Juanito, who's one of the best friends I made from streaming, he was like, "Oh, raid NikkiJustine." I was like, "Oh, who's that?" And then I went to your stream. I was like, "Damn, she's popping off." So I raided you. That's how we met. I remember. I was like, because I remember our
that.
journeys were pretty similar, because we started like literally within a few weeks of each other. So I was like,
Literally.
Mhm.
yeah. And then I remember just Jewel was like in your chat.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff,
I
and
was
that's how
probably
met
just
Jewel.
around.
Yeah.
She's just around. She's really
I'm just
lurking.
around.
Yeah. I also
Yeah.
remember, I don't know why this is like a core memory of meeting Jewel. Like I remember one day you were like pushing for partner or whatever, and
Mm.
I was like, all right, we're gonna raid Jewel. Like she has.
I do remember
saying
that,
this to my
actually.
Oh
chat.
my
I was
god,
like,
I was in chat with that too.
I was like, we're gonna raid her. She has a really awesome community. Like, you know, she plays a lot of variety. Honestly, it's so cool that she's built a community that like supports her in whatever she does. I remember saying that. I don't know why, but like I think it's just it comes.
I do
out
variety
'cause-
was like
Aw.
yeah, because here we are. Because I was like, I looked up to you because I was like, she can stream whatever and like
and
people
have a
still
viewer base.
love
Yeah.
it. Yeah, and I was like, that's the goal. That's what I remember
Yeah.
saying that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is the
Build a
goal.
goal.
The goal is variety, for real.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
Still the goal. Yeah, it's crazy. I like every now and then I get so emotional. I remember the first message. I don't remember the first message. Like I remember me and Jewel, our first interaction, but I remember I believe like Krissy, you sent me a DM one night. I
Oh,
won't go
yeah.
too deep into it, but I remember there's people in my chat being so fucking cringe. And they were just basically harassing me. And Krissy, I believe the next morning, I think I woke up to the message. And I didn't know Krissy that well at the time. Like, it's not like we were messaging the player or anything. Like, we knew of each other. And you sent me this long, like, such nice message. I genuinely cried. I
Aw.
legitimately cried because I was like, I don't know why. It was just weird for me to see another person care so much and, like, actually reach out about other people's, like, feelings and stuff. And I remember she messaged me and I was literally like, this girl, I was like literally like, what the hell? Why are you so nice? Like, and I cried. And then
Well-
I was like, that was just, I don't know. No one's ever like done that, you know? Just
Yeah.
like they reached out and they were like, hey, like, I don't know. They
And
tried.
I was gonna say it's kind of sad to say, but I feel like it's hard to sometimes find connections like from you two that I have from
Mhm.
I guess other streamers, or not trying to roast other streamers like that, but yeah, I don't know, the
And you
connection
find that
here.
people go out of their way. Like,
Yeah,
you girls
I
always like
guess.
went out of
Yeah,
your
no,
way to just be
absolutely.
like, you know, just to check up on each other and
Yeah.
like all that. Like it just that immediate connection that I've got from you guys was just rare, and that's how
Yeah.
I kind of knew. I was like, all three of us could do everything together because that's like we're just I don't know, we're just all there. Like
Yeah,
we're
it's
all
like
there for each other.
Yeah.
I know if I met you guys from real life, like we would be friends instead of just
Yeah.
from online. Like I don't know.
No, I
Like you
agree.
said, it's kind of hard to make friends in streaming sometimes because everybody, at the end of the day, you know,
Has their own thing.
yeah, everyone's grinding and
Yeah,
whatever, and
for
like
real.
you know, it's hard. You don't want to make it seem like you're
Yeah.
like clout chasing, and so you just want to
Exactly.
like obviously I'm cool with everyone, but like forming those genuine connections is way different than like just being cool with everyone. So yeah, when I met you guys, like I knew when you know, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like we were all growing, so it was kind of like it didn't seem too much of like, well, if I appear on your stream and you come on my stream and then we game together, like it didn't seem like a transactional thing. It just
No, it
seemed
felt
like
like
you genuinely
real.
wanted to exactly, and that's always how it is with us. Like we've just
Mhm.
always been that way, just because we're all. I mean, even still growing together, like so it doesn't feel like that. That's why it's so much ease of mind, like because you're like, oh, I can do whatever with the girls. I can play variety with the girls. I can do this. I can do that, and it just feels so comfortable, you know. And I
Mhm.
also struggle just asking other people to collab or do things just
Yeah.
because
I get
sometimes it
shy.
just feels that way. Exactly, I
Yeah.
feel shy.
I don't want to
But it
feel
also
like,
goes
yeah,
both
I don't want
ways.
to feel like it's clouding or cloud chasing or anything
Yeah,
like that. But sometimes I
but it
do
definitely goes
genuinely
both
connect
ways.
with other people, but it's
Mhm.
just hard to like, I don't want to push myself like too much on them. So, yeah, I think there's that boundary that you're trying to figure out from other streamers.
For sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm going to cry now.
Don't cry.
It feels
Now
like
me getting
I feel
slightly
like,
teary-eyed.
yeah, every time we hang out or like game together, it just like makes my day, like genuinely.
Yeah,
So.
I have such a different relationship with like my and like no jab to like my actual friends or anything like IRL friends, but like I have such a different relationship. Like I don't know if I would still like I would still be streaming at the end of the day if I hadn't met you guys, but I think everything that you guys like friendship to you guys have made everything like worth it, if that makes sense. Like, you know, even the
Yeah,
bad
like
times
the
in streaming, when
purpose.
you have bad days or exactly like you know you can rely on those people because it's so hard out there. It's so hard to be a streamer and collab with other people and like interact with other people. And so like that alone almost feels like it just you're like I don't want to be in this place where like I have to network with people and like I don't feel
Mhm.
comfortable doing so. So just having a friendship with you guys like just solidifies like literally everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes it worth for sure.
It's nice knowing at the end of the day, like, that I have, like, I can always just message the girls or hang out or whatever. Because I feel like for the first, like, year and a half of my streaming career, I just stayed to myself. Like, literally, Bailey was my only friend because I was so scared to get close to people because I was like, what if they're just like, I don't know. I felt like I was scared that the online community was going to be very toxic. So I was very
Mhm.
careful with who I was friends with, like, or
Mhm.
who I got close to, just because I was scared. Like, obviously, no reason behind that. But, you know, online, it's like at times it can be kind of high schooly. So I was like, all right, I'm just
Yeah.
going to
yeah.
stay in
No,
my
for real.
circle. Yeah. And so when I met you guys, it's like, oh, like, this is great. Like, I don't know. I kind of broke out of that. And yeah, I still have a small circle, but definitely bigger
It's
than
nice
when
to
I
have a
first
small
started.
circle.
Yeah,
It's
small circles
definitely
the way.
it's like real life. I feel like I've also kept my circle IRL very close, and then like online, I feel like it's the same. Like after, I feel like when you first start, you're like, I want to be friends with everyone. I want to do this and collab, but it's so chaotic. It's like at the end of the day, you have your core people that you like gaming with and hanging out with and talking with, and that's I'm happy with that, and I don't
Mhm.
need anything else in life.
Yeah. And you guys also keep me grounded too. Like, I don't know, whenever I talk to you guys, I'm reminded that, like, yeah, this online, like, I need to separate from all the, like you said, it's just so chaotic, like everything online. I don't want to get into specifics, but
Yeah, Krissy
yeah.
sometimes gets this really big ego, so we have to like.
Yeah. So, yeah.
We gotta ground her a little bit.
We
No,
gotta
I'm
ground
kidding,
her.
I'm kidding.
I don't know.
Nah.
Just knowing that we all
But
go through
she's
the same stuff, it's like,
Mhm.
it does
Yeah.
kind of ground me, though. It's like, all right.
It's normal. It's human
Yeah.
to feel that way.
Right. My girl's
Yeah.
got no ego. Well, maybe a little bit. You guys got no. I'm kidding.
Sometimes you gotta have it. You
You have to the confidence.
Yeah, you gotta have confidence. Mm.
Oh,
Well.
everyone was taking a sip of their coffee there.
Yeah. Sips coffee.
Good sip
Little delight.
coffee right there. Yeah.
I was thinking, since we
Mhm.
we still have some time, if you want, we totally don't have to, but we could get into a little bit about Kick and Twitch and the state of streaming as a whole, if you guys want to. I feel like that would be a good topic because it's been it's in our notes here in Discord,
I was gonna say, I was like, this podcast is a perfect example of like doing content out of streaming. Also, like I felt very motivated when you guys were down about the podcast. I was like, it would be kind of refreshing to do something other than streaming.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I mean, I'm down.
Is such an exhausting line of work. Like, obviously, it's the best fucking job ever because you get to play video games and build a community. But that shit, like, is so exhausting mentally because, you know,
True.
Especially depending on the platform you stream on, TikTok. Sometimes your chat is really mean and you just have to read it, or you just choose not to read it for your sanity. But yeah, I feel like I think about all the time how, like, obviously YouTubers have their whole other struggles and everything that they deal with, but like you said, creating content where it's just like, okay, we can work together on this in our little safe space and like nobody can be saying things to us in chat, like it's kind of nice. Like it's like a little, it's very motivating. Like you said, it's like a little project that we're working on and I like it
for sure.
Mommy likes.
Huh?
Well, it's also nice. It's nice to not have to like look at chat and be able to focus on just doing this in the moment and be able to exactly collect your thoughts. Streamer brain.
I mean, I have streamer brain 24/7, but
when you're streaming, I feel like I always choose to say less because I'm literally streaming live. So if we're talking about a hot topic or something, I'll just like suppress my thoughts because I'm live streaming, so I don't want to say something stupid. Not that I would, but like, you know.
No, because people are gonna clip that. Like, people,
everything
can
be
taken out of context for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Once I raged at some guy in Rocket League. Okay, I didn't rage. I got slightly annoyed because they called me boosted, so I went on a whole rant. Okay, I didn't go on a whole rant. I'm gonna sounds bad. I was just like, oh, just watch 2 years of VODs to see that I've actually grown from this to this. Dude took that clip of me ranting. Streamer NikkiJustine's rants on Twitch about, you know, about how mad she is that people call her boosted, and he posted on TikTok, and I was like, this is so cringe. Like, so sometimes you really do have to be like if you want to rage, you can't do it like
you can't rage
XQC level and like start slamming your desk and like because people are gonna clip that and be like, this person's lost their mind. This person's really mad. This gets into their skin, and then they troll and then they do that. So I agree. You kind of have to like
compose yourself sometimes.
Dial it back a little bit. And sometimes you like everyone's human. Like everyone like you just want to be someone who playing the game, and like I want to react how I usually would react to the game, but I feel almost sometimes limited because someone could clip that and take it out of context and then use it against you that this person's a bad content creator. This person, you know. So it just I agree with the dialing it back.
I definitely don't react how I used to react. I still like curse and stuff when I'm gaming and like,
COD days. Oh,
you're telling me you don't say your mom after someone says something mean about you?
Yo mom.
Every time?
Of course
Yo mom?
I do.
You just say your mom.
No, but yeah, I remember a few times early in my streaming career when people would say certain things and I would just go off, and now I just don't do that because I'm just like, what's the point? Like, it happens so much that I'm like, I just don't care. Like, but
you start to become a little bit numb to it, and you're like,
oh,
if you just don't give
if
you just don't give into it, like they're just gonna not say anything after that. They're gonna try for a bit, and then you realize that they're just gonna stop.
Yeah.
So
that's how it is.
But on the Kick and Twitch thing, I think maybe Jewel could talk about this like probably the most. I mean, obviously we can go over the pros and cons of Twitch and Kick and all that. Yeah, of course.
You know what's funny is that I looked at myself in the mirror today and I was like, we're not. If we talk about streaming, I'm not going to talk about Kick. Because I
Oh,
don't want to
really?
be judged, I guess.
Oh.
Because
I
I
don't think
see.
We don't have to.
No, we definitely
It's
don't have
what
to
it is.
touch on
What
it.
it is.
We could talk about it in like a general,
Yeah.
a general sense. Also, my dog.
Like
is
I
just
guess it's
in the
like if
corner of my.
do you want my view on it is yeah, I feel like Kick there's some downsides about it, but I mean Twitch also has downsides too.
Mhm.
I think in general streaming is not a good space. It's kind of difficult right now,
Yeah.
and I don't personally judge people that like switch to Kick streaming. Me personally, I'm doing both where I Twitch stream and then I'll do my variety on Kick kind of thing. And I find that doing my Kick stream is a little more chill, laid back. I don't have to worry about, I don't know, people, I don't know, being there for Rocket League. I don't know, something like that.
Mhm.
It's like
And
usually when you stream, it's like
yeah,
if you're playing something else on Twitch, your core viewership is like, oh, but when are you gonna play Rocket League? It's like, shut up.
Dude, I
Yeah.
played
Like, please.
Fortnite. I played Fortnite last Friday with you, Jewel, and literally I started my stream and someone said, "Did you quit Rocket League?" And I was like, "Bro."
Bro.
Because I
Just
started
because
with
of
Fortnite. I
Fortnite?
was like, "Bro, what?" I streamed it
People are-
yesterday. Like, what are you saying? I thought
Yeah.
it was so funny. I always
People
get
do that
that.
all the time. I'm like, what the? I streamed The Last of Us for 2 days in a row. Like, usually I would do the thing if I were to do variety, I would play Rocket League first and then towards, towards the end play variety. Just because, I don't know, more people just are going off for the night and whatever. But I started 2 streams in a row with The Last of Us and just only The Last of Us. People are like, when are you gonna play Rocket League? Are you done with Rocket League? Like, and I'm like, I can't 2 streams in a row just play something else. Like,
The
Yeah,
best part,
yeah,
for
it's
real.
crazy.
No.
when
I know like
you
Lou
sorry.
Lovely does that. Oh, sorry, no. I know like Lou Lovely deals with that. Like when she was like an Apex. Well, she is. She does variety now, but she used to be an Apex main, and like she would start playing other games that she would find enjoyment in, and then people would be like, "Did you quit Apex?" And it's like, so like I don't like I know all of us probably don't feel alone in that. Like
Yeah.
that we that struggle or the people who are coming in just for one game. So it's refreshing to know that other people go through that.
Yeah.
The best part is when you play Rocket League for 4 hours and then you switch
Ugh.
games and then they're like,
And
"When
then
are-
that's when
are
they
you-
come out.
Can you play Rocket League?" Like, bro, I just queued ranked for 4 hours.
Yeah,
That
like
happened to
where
me
were you
yesterday.
during those 4 hours?
Like, I'm Rocket Leagued out. I was gonna say, yeah, Ludwig made a really good video on Mogul Mail about, because a lot of the drama with Kick is, it's backed by, what is it, Stake or whatever.
Yeah.
And he made a really good video about like, he was saying like, he personally, like how he determines who his sponsors are and what he is sponsored by is based on his own moral compass. And he's like, that's how every streamer should be.
Yeah.
And he's like, a lot of people tell me, you have a young audience. And he's like, my audience, the content I'm creating is not meant for kids. And so that's why he says he does the occasional, not like sponsor gambling, but like sponsor poker or whatever. Because he's like, I curse a lot. I make, content that I wouldn't particularly say is for kids. And as me as a content creator, I'm not trying to cater to that audience. If they watch, like, obviously I can't help that. I'm on the internet or whatever. So I thought it was really interesting. He was just saying like, it's different for every person. Like it's based on your own moral compass or whatever. But yeah, I think you're supposed to be 18 to be on Kick, which is way different than Twitch. It's 13. Or maybe it's not 18 to be on Kick, but it's most streams are marked as like
Mature.
mature
Yeah, I think every
audiences.
Kick stream I've gone to is mature audience.
Yeah.
I was gonna
I don't
say
think I've
same.
seen one that wasn't. So
Exactly.
yeah, I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, obviously as a content creator too, like when Kick is taking 50% of your
It's so
money,
painful.
like, and it's like at the end of the day, this is my job and I need to make money or else.
And you want to stay afloat and like you want to be able to continue making content because like that's what people watch you for. And one day if you just can't because you can't sustain yourself, you know how many people are going to be like so upset, like,
Yeah. And I know everyone is doing things, not with ill intent or whatever. They're just looking out for themselves and their career and whatever. And yeah, I don't think anyone should get canceled for switching to Kick.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm not
No one can
full.
judge.
I'm not fully switching because
Yeah.
I actually like the idea of, you know, putting my eggs in other baskets or whatever
Mhm.
that is.
Mhm.
So I feel a lot more comfortable instead of just only streaming on Twitch. I mean, you never know
Yeah.
what's gonna happen if streaming's
Right.
gonna be viable in the end of it all. To be honest, but you never know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing is ever certain. Yeah. I don't know.
True.
You could say the same about like I won't name any spot. Like I when I watched that Ludwig video, I just thought it was so funny because like some people have certain sponsorships that they will and will not take. Just because I won't take
Yeah.
X sponsorship, I don't want to name a sponsorship because then it's gonna be like, oh, whoever takes that is a sellout or they like whatever. Like I won't take X sponsorship because I know maybe I don't use that service, I don't play that game or whatever. And that's just morally how I feel. If I don't actually like use that service or play the game or have ever wanted to even like be interested in that in what they're offering, then like I won't personally do it because
Mhm.
you won't see me use it or play it or whatever ever again. But morally that's how I feel. But you like the other person, whatever,
Like take
you
any
know,
sponsorship, you know, because
they
it's
take it, yeah,
yeah.
like if that's what helps you and that's what, you know, everyone's got to make money and like that's what you feel right. Like why should anyone else tell you otherwise, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like everyone's like has a different morale and everyone has
Yeah.
a different like you know, you shouldn't let other people just because that streamer won't do it or this person won't do it like deter you from doing what is right for you, you know, money wise, community wise, whatever.
Yeah. He also said in that video, his community plays a big part in like sponsors that he will not take anymore. So I think he had X sponsorship and his community was like, not, we don't really like this. Like, why are you doing this sponsor? And he said like, okay, I'm not gonna do it anymore. So like, because his core community was telling him like, we feel like, I think it was a crypto sponsor, and at the time it was
Mhm.
like going south. So he was like,
Yeah.
okay, this is very understandable, and the times are changing. Like this used to
Mhm.
be fine, and now it's not. So I'm not going to do it anymore. And I think it's important to know that, you know, everybody makes mistakes too. Like
Yeah.
no streamer is perfect. It's hard when you're trying to make a living, and you know, yeah, you can't do everything perfectly.
I
And
definitely
you have
just
to,
don't judge people, you know, with
yeah.
what they're doing. Whatever
Mhm.
sponsors, whatever streams they're doing, whatever. It's just, you know, they're doing what they think is best. So
Yeah.
at the end of the
I
day.
like how he does own up to it and
Oh
like,
yeah.
you know, it's like I know that like this worked at the time, then I realized that you guys didn't like it or whatever. Like I think it's great to own up to something when whether you messed up or you were like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that or taken that. I think that's where it's most acceptable, where like, you know, you own up to it and you're honest about it, or oh, I took it because, well, you know, in his case, they needed a sponsor for an event. And events are very expensive to run. So same thing with streamers who want to promote a certain product or a game or a service, like they are doing what's right for them. If
Mhm.
that's what's gonna pay their rent that month, then you know, be honest. Oh yeah, like I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this thing. Like also, like, you know, obviously you can't give numbers and stuff like that, but like, you know, it helps support. You just say, you know, this supports me, and you know, that's it.
Yeah.
Gotta be transparent about things sometimes.
Yeah. Ludwig was also saying that once he switched to YouTube, obviously he said he signed that big fat contract. And then he made all
Yeah.
of his subs, and he made his subs $1 on YouTube to watch
Oh yeah, I
without
remember
ads.
that.
And then his donos are capped at $10 because he said, at the end of the day, as a streamer, I don't want to have to rely off of your
Yeah.
wallet for my like to survive,
Livelihood.
which I thought was
Mhm.
like so cool because I don't know, that's why I take sponsorships too. At the end of the day, like
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't want to have to rely on my community to like sub to me for me to be able to sustain or have a sustainable living. So like that's why, you know, that's why we join orgs and that's why we take sponsorships. And it's really cool as well when you can when there's like a crossover between a sponsorship you really like and then like they're also paying you. It's like, all right, this is kind of
That's
cool.
crazy. It's cool,
It feels
yeah.
good, right? Like it's like, damn, I made money this month and it like I don't know.
And you didn't
I
have
think
to
it's
like
cool.
grind crazy for it, or
For
like
subs and
like
stuff,
you, or
or
you
yeah,
feel
like
or you feel like, oh man, like I don't know, like
It's a
it's a
big
big
relief.
boost.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
Big
for
relief.
that's
sure.
like the goal. I feel like for me personally is just to get out of that place where, well, I feel like I'm not even in that place as much as I was like when I first started because of like my org and everything, which is amazing. But yeah, my goal as a streamer one day. That's why I'm trying to get on YouTube too. I'm trying to
Yeah.
monetize my content in other ways, even this podcast. So it's like my Twitch community doesn't have to provide that for me because they've already done so much. And
Exactly.
it's like giving back in a way if I can reach that goal.
Have you guys seen that Harris Heller video where he talks about like kick streaming and
I
I
don't
guess
think so.
streaming in general? But I think it's
haven't.
like, it was basically how, you know, both the streaming platforms have their flaws and stuff, but at the end of the day, you should really be pushing the short form content, the long form content to eventually even just bring your audience to that streaming platform.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was kind of like the gist of it, to utilize, I guess, short form content, YouTube content, long form content, stuff like that.
Podcasts.
Podcast.
Just avenue, just many
Yeah.
different avenues. That's why I
Yeah.
like that. You know,
Exactly.
all of us have, you know, we all feel the same way about not wanting to rely on our community to stay afloat, and that's why, you know, you do the short form. That's why you do the YouTube. That's why, and it's all hard work and like it's all time commitment. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, having your multiple avenues that you could grow from and make income from, where you don't have to rely on your community, is at the end of the day, I know personally a goal for
That's a huge
me,
goal.
and I
Yeah.
know for you guys too. So
Mm-hmm.
I definitely agree. Like I'm the same way. Like I think that's just what you gotta rely on.
Don't forget
Yeah.
to Twitch Prime to me though.
Yeah.
At the end of
But
the
you
day.
can use your Prime.
But you can't
Or
use your
sub
Prime.
to the
You know.
Patreon.
Oh yeah, the Patreon. Wait, this is maybe a good transition.
Good segue. I think.
That actually is. Look at us transitioning.
Oh,
and
we're so
stuff.
good.
Wow,
First episode, we're on
whoa.
top of
Oh
that.
my god.
Dang. Okay, so who's
Yeah.
talking about it?
I can go.
Okay.
Yeah, so this podcast is going to be posted on Spotify with video, YouTube with video, of course, and Patreon. We are going to have a Patreon membership for $5 a month. This is the very first tier. You will get an ad-free version of the podcast. So YouTube and Spotify both have ads. Patreon version, if you pay the $5 a month, you will get the entire podcast without ads. Early access to each episode and an exclusive pet photo dump from each of us. And then there's also the premium membership. You get all the tier 1 benefits, and then you also get a shout out for the Patreons every single episode. Sorry if we pronounce any names wrong or any usernames. Again, yeah. Early access to each episode, no ads, a pet photo dump, and also extra content. We will be gaming together. We're going to throw in maybe bloopers if there are any, things like that. Just extra content, the girls gaming together, all
Yeah.
that good stuff. So that is at patreon.com/iLadies. I'm guessing you're probably listening to it there right now, or if you're on YouTube or Spotify.
I think we'll have everything linked too on YouTube specifically. And
Yeah.
we do have Twitter too for you guys to, I guess, keep up to date with everything. And we'll probably post, you know, some teasers, spoilers of upcoming episodes and bloopers, I imagine. What else?
Yeah, eventually we're gonna work to have a Discord community as well, that we can all hang out and chat with our mutual communities. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the socials portion.
Trying to think.
Also, we talked about doing Q&As and comments from Patreon.
Yeah,
we would probably
eventually.
Limit to like the tier 1 membership people.
Yeah, whatever you can see the feed, Patreon feed.
Yeah, so lots of fun stuff upcoming. We're hoping maybe to even get topic ideas and things like that from you guys, if there's anything specifically you would want us to talk about. Or anything like that.
Please,
and then maybe upcoming
give us stuff.
people, like maybe people you would want to see on the podcast. Some guests.
Some guests?
Sorry, I couldn't think of the word guest. I was
Some
like people.
People? You guys want to see people?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys want to see the
I like people.
exclusive content, you should go subscribe to the Patreon. But if not, that's okay. Appreciate you watching.
That's
Or-
okay.
or listening. Forgot this is a podcast, not a video. Well, it's a video, but also listening. So
If you are unable to subscribe though to the Patreon, the best way to support us would to listen on YouTube. Make
Yeah,
sure you
watch
subscribe.
the whole
And
thing.
also on Spotify, you know, that would be ideal.
Mhm.
It will live there as well. So
Yeah.
if you cannot subscribe, you can still listen. No worries.
still support.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
think,
I think that's that
yeah,
was pretty
I think
good.
that is it.
That is
that
it
it,
for our first
girls?
episode. I
It's
can't
it's,
believe it. I
it's
can't believe we actually
exactly
did
like
it.
almost an hour too. So.
I know it flew by. We were just
Good
talking.
job, guys.
Oh wait. How many? I was gonna say episode. Like people were asking, I guess, or people have asked me how often we're gonna post. And I think our idea or plan was to do once every couple weeks.
Yeah, once
I
every
think.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Unless we really get in the
Yeah.
flow. I feel like if we just
We
hop
could
on
get
really
in the
this-
start
flow. Yeah,
grinding.
I
We
mean
could
this felt
easily-
good for real.
But I'm not gonna make any promises at first just because of
Yeah.
schedules and things like that. But yeah, expect an episode every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we'll try to probably stick to Fridays because that's when the first episode's dropping.
Yeah,
And yeah,
why not?
sure.
I
just made
believe
that
Sure.
executive
Friday's
decision.
our day now.
I
Fortnite
believe we can make
Fridays.
this consistent.
Yeah, we just want to make
On
it
Friday.
consistent, and then eventually we'll add more stuff.
Mhm.
But we're trying not to overwhelm ourselves.
Yeah, we're just getting the basis down
Mhm.
right now. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for episode 1 of iLadies. Thank you guys so much for listening. That was so much fun. I can't wait to
Yeah.
do more episodes.
Me too.
Yeah, if you
And-
guys enjoyed, be sure to, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to give it a like, comment if you did enjoy it. Would love to hear the feedback, or if you guys have any suggestions for us or
Yeah.
any questions, please be sure to comment down below on the YouTube video. On Patreon, if you guys would like to subscribe, once again, that's on Patreon. And Spotify if you're listening on Spotify. But would love to hear your feedback, if anything. And yeah,
Wow, you're so professional.
it's the YouTuber outro type thing. You
Dang,
know?
let's go.
Professional
Now we can end.
YouTuber. All right, and
And
Alright,
cut.
cut.
Yeah,
And
cut
cut.
it.